A year ago, Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash, and the world lost one of the NBA greats. Bryant touched the lives of fans worldwide, as evidenced by the stories people share about the basketball icon. Who better to give us insights about what made the LA Laker All-Star so special than his former teammates? Tennie Sumague has the story. Tennie.
Thanks, Ace. Kobe Bryant's legacy will forever resonate in the hearts and minds of former teammates Tyronn Lue, Jordan Clarkson, and Steve Nash. We'll start with Lue, who entered the NBA in 1998 and played 3 seasons with Bryant and the LA Lakers, which included back-to-back NBA titles in 2001 and 2000 and 2001. The LA Clippers coach draws comparisons to Bryant's work ethic with another great NBA legend, his former teammate, Michael Jordan.
To win, I think just their competitive nature and their will to win, and then just bringing it every single day in practice. Like, they practice harder than they play in the games most of the time. And like I said, I asked Kobe that, and I think, B. Shaw and Ron Harper said, "Why are you going so hard in practice?" They said, "Well, practice is harder because if I practice hard in the games, practice hard, then the games are easier." So that was their approach. That's how MJ approached it, even when I played with him at 40 or 41 years old. Never wanted to take days off of practice, even though Doug Collins, tried to make him, but he would never do it. And Kobe was the same way.
Clarkson, who entered the league in 2014, spent his first 4 seasons with the LA Lakers, 3 of them with the Black Mamba. The Filipino-American guard says that Bryant's last NBA game back in April 13, 2016, was the most memorable for him.
Most memorable, something that, definitely that's hard set in stone, I feel like, in everybody's life is his last game. Just seeing him go out like that, having 60, it's just a moment that I know little kids that were watching, anybody around the world that was watching during that time, that's always going to be stuck in their head, leaving on a great note like that and just showing greatness. So that's definitely one that's, etched in my history books and career and in my brain forever.
Nash was Bryant's teammate in his last 2 seasons of his illustrious 18-year NBA career. The Brooklyn Nets coach admired Bryant's life as a father.
For me, most importantly, he was an incredible father. So that to me is like the tragedy of Kobe passing is that he was an incredible father, and was just starting to embark on that chapter of his life that, I think was remarkable and something that I really admired about him.
Ace, I'm going to end with one of my favorite Bryant quotes on success. Quote, "The most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great at whatever they want to do." End quote. Mambasita out here in New York, Tennie Sumague, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ace.
Tennie, so Kobe Bryant, what can we say about this great man? Right? Everybody loves him, from Asia to the Americas and even in China. Well, how do you remember him?
He's a global icon, Ace. I think everybody took his death very personal. For me, I would say, I think it felt like losing a loved one. And I think I wasn't hurt by, I haven't been hurt by any famous person dying since Princess Diana. I don't know if you agree with me, Ace, but Kobe Bryant is definitely one of the greatest, most, I would say, iconic athletes of all time. I would probably say that more than Michael Jordan. Would you agree, Ace?
I think I would definitely agree with that, and I kind of felt your voice cracking there. Are you getting emotional a little bit? Just sports icon.
I am. I mean, my family loves Kobe Bryant. My cousin from Vancouver couldn't even, like, I think she kind of secluded herself for like a week, because I remember visiting her back in 2003. Her and her family, she has Kobe's memorabilia all over her room. So when he passed, it was kind of, she didn't want to talk to anybody. And I think a lot of people have felt that way. For me also, it was a hard time. Last year, at the same time that Kobe died, I lost somebody who was more like a mentor to me, a minister of the gospel. So I took that very hard too. And they have very similar mentality. They have that Mamba mentality, both Kobe and one of my mentors.
True that. From his charity and humanitarian works, his basketball programs for kids, and his leadership on and off the court, his outlook and reaction to adversity, they're very admirable traits for this great sports icon. And it's really a big loss to not only to the NBA, but to the entire sports as a whole.
Yes, definitely. And Ace, I don't know if you ever read any of his books, Mamba Mentality, Legacy of the Queen, which if you have children, I have a copy of that book, which he created with, I forgot the author's name. I mean, before his death too, he was going to coordinate or collaborate, I should say, with Paulo Coelho, who's famously known to write The Alchemist, one of my favorite books that I've read, and a New York Times seller. And I would say, and I said this in the Canadian telecast on Sunday, that he and the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are one of the most eloquent writers of in sports. If you ever get a chance to read any of their books and even watch his Oscar-winning short film, Dear Basketball, I mean, it will blow your mind how intelligent Kobe Bryant is. He's definitely the epitome of more than an athlete, which is why he's an icon.
I'll include that in my list. Thank you so much for the tips. Tennie Sumague from New York.
Thanks, Ace.